Okay, so you're going to show us how to graft from one tree to another.
Now, when you graft, the timing is important. So you want to cut your scion wood. That's what you're going to graft with in the wintertime when the tree's dormant. And so you'll just cut a piece off. And you take this piece of scion wood and you'll take this and you'll store it in a cool place for the entire winter. If you don't have a walk-in cooler, then just put it in the refrigerator or someplace where it's very cool, and maybe in a plastic bag because you don't want it to dry out. And then in April, when your trees are starting to bud out, the sap's coming back in, that's when you plug it into the tree. That's when you graft it in. You can't do it simultaneously. Like if you cut it in April and you try to do it, it's going to dry out too quick. So you want to take dormant wood, scion wood, and graft it in April to a tree that the sap's coming into, and they'll take. Now here's how easy it is to do. And you want to make sure, this is easy because these are all exact, you want to make sure that the piece you're grafting in is the same diameter as what you're grafting into, because this cambium layer here, if you look close, there's a little green edge right below the bark. That's the only live part of the tree. The center part of the tree is dead. It's just there for support. It's not living. The only live part of the tree is that green cambium layer, and they must come in contact one with another for the graft to take. And so you must have the same diameter material at this end and at this end, so they line up. And so what you'll do is the part that you want to cut in, graft into, you'll take a pruner and split it right down the center here, make an opening. You'll take this piece and cut it so it'll slide into that. Make it at an angle like this, like that, and you'll open this up. Put this little tool in here to get a little gap. Just slide this into your opening. You see there? You see you can see now how that's just, it's stuck in there, and you see they're totally lined up. And then you just take your tape, electrical tape, and you want to buy that cheap stuff from Taiwan, the real thin stuff, because it's really flexible and nice, not the heavy, really good quality. And you just put this on it and you just wrap this, and you just wrap it nice and tight. See, as you wrap it tight, you're pulling that in very, very close. You're taking out all the airspace. And as you wrap this tight, you're making this joint immovable, so it's not going to flex. You wrap that back and around, and you're done. Now here's the cool thing about the black tape. You see, that black tape is going to keep that from moving. Look at that. You see, the wind's going to happen. It's not going to affect it. Because it's wrapped tightly, it keeps all the air out, so it's not going to dry out. And because it's black, when the sun hits it, it's going to heal quicker, and you're going to have this amazing graft. Now let me take you over and show you one that I did last year and show you how nice it goes. Look how nice and smooth that is. You see all the books to tell you got to have a grafting paste, and you got to have pins and stuff to hold in place. This is so convenient. All you need is a roll of black tape and your pruners, and you can graft all day long. It's simple, you know. And look how nice that is. I mean, it's such a beautiful, totally inflexible. Look at that. It's not going to move. Totally keeps everything in there tight, and it's completely convenient and really effective. Now let's walk over here and I'll show you one that I did last year and show you how nice they grow into each other. So this is one I did last year. You can see how nicely that's all healed in. But you can see that's definitely a graft, and you can see that this apple here is different than that one. This is a whole other variety that's now growing into my tree.
Oh wow.
You can see the difference. This is a whole different apple.
So how long until you take the tape off, or does it just go off
on its own? As this expands, the tape just eventually just breaks off. But you don't have to take it off; it comes off on its own. And this is how easy it is. It's just such a quick, simple, self-maintaining. No effort on yours, no maintenance part. It's just, and look how nicely that's all healed over and grown in.
How many different, say, varieties of apple can I put on one tree?
You can do as many as you want. The challenge with apples, pears are better to do because all pears grow the same rate. Apples don't. And like a Gravenstein will grow a lot more than some others, and so you'll get these real imbalanced branches. And so it's a real challenge. I know these two are going to be very similar, so I did it. But apples are a major challenge to graft multiple varieties because you'll get real imbalance in the tree. Where pears, you can do as many pears as you want because they all grow the same. Now let me point out something here too for all of you, because this is really cool. I'm glad I just saw it. I want you to focus on your camera here. You see this right here on my tree? This little mass of material that's not part of the bark?
Right.
This is tent caterpillar eggs. And if you remember last year, we had tent caterpillars that were everywhere. And you see, they just laid their eggs here. And see, during the winter season when you're pruning, if you're paying attention, you can get these and take them off. If you look closely, you can just see here in the film, you see all these eggs. You see those hundreds of eggs that are there?
I'm just gonna focus on it.
Can you get that?
I can't hear. Let me do it this way. Yep.
And see, if you'll get it at this stage, you're not going to have them develop and wipe out your tree. So when you're pruning in the fall, pay attention to what's laying on there, and when you see those, always take them off, because those are tent caterpillar eggs, and they're not something you want on your tree. See my eye? I train my eye to spot things, and as soon as I walk up here, I saw it. Because I'm conditioned. I'm looking for that kind of thing. So I.
So what do you do with this now?
This here,
you throw it in the fireplace, or just
chickens,
stomp it on the ground?
Chickens. I wouldn't stomp it on the ground because they could hatch on the ground.
Right.
But I would get out of this space. When I had fish, I'd give it to them. They loved it. They would eat them. Kind of my chickens will eat it. But it's something you don't want in your place, because tent caterpillars are very damaging to your trees.
I've never seen them at that early stage before.
Yeah, and see, that's when they get them. And see, and because you know what it is now, you'll recognize that when you see it now. When you prune, always get them off. And if you do that when you're pruning, then you won't have any issue come spring. They just won't be there because you got rid of them all.